Welcome to Brick City Radio, a Lego podcast for Lego fans. I'm Puck.
I'm Becca, and today we have my favorite Viking I've ever met. We have the wonderful Hagar the Great with us today. Hey, Hagar.
Hey, Hagar, how's you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Do
it.
you
Glad to have
want
you.
to tell everybody like a little bit about you? Obviously, we know you from the Twitch community. You also on Instagram, etc. But yeah, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm a Canadian variety streamer. I primarily do Lego building, and I collect, as you can see in my background, Lego minifigs. But I have done video games. I've played video games. I do deep dive toy talks. What other things? I'm sorry, I'm blanking. But
Painting.
I do have right. Oh yes, I do miniature paint, or not miniature painting, model paintings such as Gundam and glue kits. So
That's amazing.
I do a spattering of everything. So
a little bit of everything.
We got another talented Canadian in the group.
Oh, what a surprise! Another one just coming on to make us all look bad. Yeah. And obviously, and how long is it that you've been streaming on Twitch for now?
Just in September was my 4th-year anniversary, or 3-year anniversary. Sorry,
that's
fantastic.
3 years.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. That's amazing.
I am currently on a break from Twitch, but I will be coming back soon. So
that's great to hear. It's good to take a break sometimes, I think. Sometimes we're forced to take breaks, but I think it's good and healthy to take a little break, come back.
Sometimes those breaks are not optional.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Real
as we
life
all
kicking
know
us
about.
Behind. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
for
the
sure.
one. Yeah, that's the one. Good old life universe. But we won't be beat. We'll come back. Bigger and badder.
So a topic that Hagar was telling us about early on before we started here was that new endurance ship that came out. He wanted to really touch base on some thoughts about it.
I saw the Lego live stream on it. I am liking it. I have one Lego ship that I haven't built. I got it in a lot deal, the Imperial, large mass Imperial ship.
Oh.
You have no idea how jealous I am of this moment. That is one of my white whale sets.
Oh well, maybe if I put it together, we'll figure it out. But I have that, and I love the large mass ships, just their appearance, the history behind them. Now I don't do a lot of research into the history, but they're just the beauty of them, of a age gone by. They're just beautiful. And I want to tell
you. I want to tell you if you do want to dig into the history behind endurance, there is a phenomenal documentary on Disney Plus. That is called Endurance, and it is all about the expedition and the discovery of the wreck in Antarctica, and they cover the whole thing. One of the coolest things about it is they actually filmed the whole expedition. They had a cameraman. So a lot of the footage that's on the documentary is actual footage from the actual filmographer. And they've gone back and they've recolored it. They did use some AI to edit the voices because a lot of the voices were really wonky and they needed to add that in. But they are actually the people's voices. They just had to manipulate it a little bit to get it to the quality that they needed.
I understand that. Yeah.
And then they did the coolest thing. They used the recoloring technique to add color to the footage.
That's
so
cool.
It's really cool.
If it was done well. I've seen some really cheap colorization out there.
Yeah.
But if it's Disney, they've probably done a good job or a half.
It looks phenomenal.
Job. Yeah. So
that's
cool.
What drew you to the ship other than like it just being a tall mass ship.
That was it. It's the beauty of it, and it's like this is the first one in a long time that I went in Lego's history of large mass ships. Like they've done Pirates of the Caribbean, they've done classic. It just made me go, and then I read briefly about the history, like a quick Google search.
Yeah,
and I went, okay, I'm interested in this set, and it's just a beauty. I don't know, with like it's got the cloth sails.
Yep.
The cloth, and it doesn't look so much Lego. It looks like it's Lego, but there's
it looks like a model ship.
Yeah.
A model ship that can sit on your firemental, or your display case and go, boom, there we go. Beautiful
I mean, those sails really were,
Yeah.
Those are the things we all love, isn't it? It is the cloth sails. I mean, I've yet to meet somebody who has ever said that they would prefer the, brick sails or the solid sails, or if you want to call them, to the cloth
plastic.
And
the plastic are for the kid sets, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but not for a $300-$400 set.
No. And it does show the quality that Lego can do. It shows that the sets like Titanic are for adults. Now, do I wish that the Endurance had been a minifig scale playset? I kind of do. I wish that they had taken what they designed with the micro scale and transferred it to a play scale so that we could have gotten more cool minifigs from it, more of the detail of the ship in there. But it's good otherwise, though.
Yeah, and the ship is detailed. Like yesterday on the live stream, he had the engine out, and and showing the engine. And the one thing I love is no stickers, but that's for another time.
No, we can talk how we hate stickers.
I don't mind them, but this thing deserves to be all printed, and they did that. And what was it? It's just, it looks like you could. It's just one of those things, It's what I think of with, like you said, ship models, and it's beautiful,
And the gift with purchase that's coming out, I am glad they did that, because then we are going to get Shackleton and the filmographer from it, which is I think very important. I don't know if I'll be able to get it from Lego. I may have to third party get it later.
Yeah, same
it
here.
just depends. It just depends.
And
but on the sticker note, man, I think they're finally catching on a little bit to, if it's a $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 set, I don't want stickers.
Nope.
No.
Because they're gonna go, no matter what anybody says out in the universe, stickers go bad eventually. You will have to use a re-adhesive at some point, or a heat gun to remelt the adhesive. There's so many things that go wrong with stickers. I was talking to Flobbit the other day, who just finished the Venator. The Venator is a gorgeous set. Like, it is beautiful and big and very Star Warsy, right?
Very good
explanation.
Very gray. Very gray. But they made the mistake of not printing the parts. They made that mistake. It is they have, I think, 4 stickers on it. Now the stickers are nice. They do match the color really nicely. But we're talking, maybe 10 years down the road, you're going to be like, oh, well, these just pop right off. Now I lost a whole detail of this system. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. And I think they're finally figuring it out. I had just finished the Mona Lisa set last night.
Oh, good. How was it?
It's gorgeous. Here, we'll show it.
Oh, there's a treat for all our viewers. For our listeners, I will explain that Puck just turned around and the view was not bad. There she is in all her
beautiful.
glory.
I think out of all the art sets, that's the best one so far. Like, I haven't built any of the art sets, but from visually, you know.
So just for our listeners, Puck's just showing Mona Lisa set, all built.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
I think the art sets are phenomenal, and Hagar was like they're really creative in their sets, and a lot of people gave this set flack. And,
really? Wow.
And I don't understand why. I really don't. The frame is great. They said the smile was a little funky. I don't see it.
It's the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think for me, when I first saw it on screen, and advertised, I was a little unsure. It wasn't until I saw it, for reals, if you want to say, that I thought, actually, that looks pretty darn good. And the frame is just, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think if you look at it from an angle, it looks very different, but straight on is so good.
Yeah.
And
the angle you see the
frame
studs
is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Frame alone.
You're not looking at a painting like this. You would never do. You're going to look at it like that.
Exactly. No. Yeah.
I just think it's obviously art, and you have to remember that art itself is subjective. So people, of course, have different opinions about everything. And that's absolutely fine. It will be very boring if we all liked the same things all the time. But I try to hold judgment with sets and more now. Back in the day, I would say I was much more judgmental. I would see a set advertised, or this is coming out, and I'm like, not for me, don't like that. And then I see it in person, at the Lego store, or people like building it, because it's different when you see people actually building it, and you just think, oh, it's so different in person. And I've completely done like 180s on sets, and changed my mind.
Same here.
On things. So I try now to hold judgment till I actually see it properly, and then make my decision.
But see, that's the one snag with that is if you can't see it built or can't see it like in real life, $200 or $300, like say the Endurance. It's
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Sorry, it's frustrating because like what was the one? Oh, the Monster Fighter Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that in real life until recently, and it made me fall in love with it more seeing it, like you said. But it is now a $400 or $500 set.
Yep.
And it's like,
and that's hard to justify sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just going into my Haunted City mock when I ever get a place, when I live in a bigger place, to be the centerpiece.
We have just gone past the Halloween season. We are still in what I consider to be spooky season. I consider we are still in spooky season, and Hagar, you have a fantastic collection of things like Scooby-Doo, for example. I don't think I know anyone who has collection. As much as you do with regards to...
He's being very modest about his collection.
I haven't got them built because I had an accident, but all my hidden side stuff is put away. It's basically gone into bulk, I hate to say for now. But
no.
Yeah, I had a spillage, and it's like, nothing broken, just...
that's at least it's not broken.
You can build them. You can build them again. That's the great thing about Lego. But you do have a great collection, and those hidden side is such a great. I really enjoyed it, and that's one that got a lot of rap That got a lot of rap. That was
because of
not popular.
the bad augmented reality.
Oh, it was so
It's
terrible.
like video.
I mean, that was bad.
The video, the Hidden Side. I think there was one other one even before Hidden Side where they used to have.
They would have done so much better with those if they had just left it alone.
Yeah, just did the best sets. Hidden Side as a set.
The sets themselves were great fun.
Oh yeah.
And
I loved the spookiness.
Those dogs from Hidden Side, when I see them for sale at different shops or whatever, and they're reasonably priced, I grab as many of them as I can.
Yeah,
I love them.
Yeah, I'm the one thing I like with Hidden Side is the effects for the ghosts, like the heads.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Heads. It's like the Scooby-Doo sets. They have the human, they're double-sided faces. They have the human side and then the monster side for the
which
the
is
monsters.
An awesome idea.
Yeah, it's how they simulated the. Oh, look, it's Mr. Withers from blah blah blah, and it was like that's cool. That's cool, Lego. Now, just if the secondary market would bring down the prices on the Scooby-Doo sets.
Oof.
Actually, the only big one is the mansion because of Velma.
Oh, yeah.
Velma.
And it's Velma, of course.
Yeah, 80. She is now up to $120, $130 Canadian on the secondary market. Velma is 20. Fred is 20. You know, all the rest are reasonably priced. The Polybag Scooby, I think, is 16 to 20. You know,
that's not bad. Yeah.
No, and it's like and Scooby is. Becca could contest to this. She helped me get one of my Scoobies, but it's sitting, 4 legs, tongue in, tongue out. That's the only difference between. And the airplane one, the biplane one has goggles on.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Tongue out, goggles out. But they were pretty simple to get, and the Dimensions one was a simple sitting one. Yeah, you know. So
I can't remember which one it was that I had spare. I had a double.
It was the Dimensions one that you sent me.
Oh, there we go. And I just so I said, oh well, you know, let me send it to you because I know somebody here would enjoy that.
It's on my display.
Thanks. I mean, she has a great. For those of you listening, Hagar is sat in front of an absolutely fantastic minifigure display,
minifig collection. Oh yeah,
and that's not even. I know that's not all of it.
No, some. I was sorting some. So.
Yeah. So, what is? I mean, you're sat with. We all know we are big minifig lovers in this 100%. Podcast. This is like the minifig ultimate podcast because we actually did do a podcast on minifigures.
Yes,
right at the very start,
wasn't it?
With Local. Yeah,
he is the expert that I know of. Him and Brix Mental out of Germany. Brix Mental knows a lot.
But for a personal love of minifigures, I don't think he can really beat much the 3 sitting here. That collection you've got behind you. When did that start? When did your
That's a great question.
When did that start as a collection? How long have you been? Like, when did it become a collection? Did you just have some and then you had some more and then you decided to collect? What did that start?
I'll give you a little bit of history, of Hagar history. When I was a kid, I had the classic. Now this is back in the 80s, or late 70s, early 80s. So I only had classic Lego bricks, just bricks, windows, wheels. You know, the classic.
Yeah.
Buy a box, build your own stuff. No, there was before sets really had kicked in.
Yeah.
So I had my Lego out one time on the living room floor. My dad came in and said, let's clean it up. So I said, okay, how am I going to get around 5 or 10 pounds of Lego away quickly? Grab a garbage bag, throw it in the garbage bag, take it down. Now, we lived in a house that had a cellar, like just foundation cellar. So I put it off to one side to go get it later. A week later comes by. I go by. I open up a bag of garbage. My dad had accidentally thrown out my Lego.
Oh, no.
Half a garbage bag full of Lego. But fast forward to about early 2000, 2008, 2010-ish. I met up. I worked at a store. Actually, no, 2011, 2012. So fast forward, we got some Lego in at the store I worked at the time. So I pieced together an X-Wing. It took me 2 weeks to piece it together because it was bulk Lego. I should have just bulked it out. There is some minifigs in it. I got my very first minifig I bought out of this lot was the light up lightsaber Darth Vader.
Oh, that's
what
exciting.
started
Nice.
this addiction, hobby, collection, whatever you would like to call it. And then I met the local brick shop at our local flea market where he started. and I learned
local,
a lot.
It's all your fault.
And I still, to this day, learn stuff. He was doing a story. I can't praise this gentleman. Even on his short stream about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I learned something new about minifigs. And that's like, I usually look at, like, on the sides for cracks, like the torsos, where most of the cracks, and you can notice if there's any arm cracks when you flip up. But he had one that had 2 cracks on the back. I didn't even think about checking the back. I usually just look over it briefly, flip the arms up, check it. If I need my jeweler's loupe, I get my jeweler's loupe, do a fine detailed check if it's an expensive figure. And he showed one that had 2 little cracks just where the dividers inside go for the pegs. Boom.
Right.
And it just cracked there, and I went, I would not. Now, for whenever I check a minifig, I check front, back, and sides, and like expect that figure.
So picky like that.
Yeah.
I'm so protective of my minifigs. It is some crazy
chaos. You had that dark period, as we all do. Then
no,
between
that wasn't a dark period. That was
between your childhood and finding and starting that first minifigure sort of collection. Did you have a dark period then, or have you always been sort of in and out?
I've Lego since that figure and me starting to collect minifigures as a hobby. I haven't had a dark ages as much people have had, to be honest with you.
Nice.
I've taken breaks. That's amazing. Because, to be honest, with financial difficulties, but
like us all.
But other than that, I have had no period where I've gone, I want that or I don't want that minifig. It's like
I don't believe that sentence exists.
A minifig because I can't afford it, and it's worth a lot. Go sell it where you can make some money. Like a friend of mine used to help me. My friend James, he did a lot of thrifting. He's a big thrifter, so he'd find a lot of good finds. And it's like,
it's crazy what you can find in thrifts.
Yeah, he said, I'd give you a good deal. I said, no, sell it, put it on eBay, put it on Kijiji, whatever, or Facebook Marketplace. Get good money. I appreciate the offer, but that's the only dark times I've had.
That's so nice he thinks of you, though.
Yeah, and we used to work together, so it was good. He would bring the bags in, and I'd help him sort, and I'd learn stuff from him. He'd learn stuff from me. So,
but it's all about collaboration, and that's the best part about Lego.
Yeah. So that collection, then, what year did you say you think roughly that was?
2011, 2012, because I know Local had been in business in the flea market, and he's been doing it 11 or 12 years. So it was, he had been, I think, a year or so at the flea market where he is now. Different location in the flea market, but the same flea market. And he used to help me, show me how to grade stuff, books and stuff. He's been great.
So that's a
13 years?
Yeah, 13, 14, coming on 15-year collection then.
No, 2011, 2012. It's 12 year, 10 or 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10 or 12 years.
Maths is not my strong point, guys.
But
there's a reason I'm not a mathematician.
I do have a box of minifigs that I will be filling these gaps up. Like these 3 here behind me, you can see me pointing, I hope, are all Star Wars, with the last couple of rows being knockoffs that Lego won't do. Like Thundercats,
of course,
Voltron, Little Voltron, horror, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Pinhead, stuff like that. So
we wish they would do it.
But you know what? The third party ones, I call them, because they're not knockoffs. They're just as nicely done. You get a few with what they call flashing in the model, and you just take a little file, and it's like boom, 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 done. You fixed. So that's Star Wars. This is going to be CMFs. This is going to be probably horror, and this is going to be that fifth one over here, which is cut off. It's just going to be randomly inserted favorite minifix. Like I'll do. I used to be what they call in the toy industry a completist. So, like for example, the D&D set. There's 12 minifigs.
Oh,
I would complete them even if I didn't want the 12. With
right, of course.
Which isn't too expensive. They're $5, but when you're talking now $30, $20, $25, $30 figures.
Yeah.
I've gone to the way of, if I like it, I'll buy it. If I don't, if I like it, can afford it, I'll get it. Like the D&D set, I like all of them, so I'm completing that one. You know,
you're like I must have those.
Now,
I would like to call myself a financially challenged completist.
True enough.
I desperately there is a very big part of me that is a completist, and you know, it hurts not to be able to complete something. It's physically
but with Lego,
painful,
you can always
not always possible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You can always go back to it.
That's the nice part.
You may pay a little bit more. That's like when I sold my I had to sell due to financial reasons, sell off my G1 Transformer collection. Everything can be replaced, maybe for more money, and the Lego's the same way. If I have to sell my Lego to keep myself fed and a roof over my head, sorry, Lego, you lose. You know, but
I do tell people that all the time when they ask. They're like, would you sell your Lego? And I'm like, if I'm in a financial strap where I can't feed myself, or I can't feed my dogs,
pets too,
then I will go and sell. I will go and sell Lego.
Well,
that happened. That happened a couple years ago. I lost one of my dogs a couple years ago, and I had to pay vet bills. So I had some sealed sets, and I brought them to my local store and said, hey, as much as I would love to build these, I know I can buy them again later. Yes, for a higher price, but I need to feed myself and I need to pay off some bills.
Yeah.
That's
the
just
nice
the way it
thing
goes.
Is it's the hunt. It's the the hunt is
absolutely
what I like about. Like I'll put my focus on. Like one time you can't see him, but I had the Simpsons series 1. That's another early set I had when collecting. So I needed one figure. I needed Nelson.
Okay.
And it was like, damn you, I wanted to collect this because it was my first CMF that I wanted to collect. But if I have to sell that, it's they're right the doors. The only last one would be my Darth Vader, which is on actually like loan right now for but he's excuse me, he'd be the last one if I sold like 100%.
I actually had that really recently. I was considering selling off a load of sets to try and pay for some travel, which is non-essential but
essential at the same time,
essential to my soul.
Yes.
So having already missed a trip due to financial reasons, and so I was seriously considering it. I priced them all up. I was really looking at it, and then a certain someone convinced me that would not be a good idea. So I didn't. But
I know what one of those sets were. You lucky little girl.
But it's at the end of the day, it is just stuff and things, and it, like you said, it can be bought back. So one of the reasons why there's 2 reasons why I have such a big backlog. One is I don't have the space, and I'm not really settled where I am at the moment.
I live in the room.
And me too. And then also the other reason is that I know that if I open those sets, it devalues them. So the whole point of me leaving them sealed is so that I can make sure that they are, you know, not easier to sell, but if I had to, it would make sure that they were hopefully I would get the best price for them, you know.
More bang for your buck, or more bang for your item.
Because as much as it would be the absolute last resort,
Mm-hmm.
it is, you know, sometimes other things just become more important. So
yeah, and
of course.
we change over years. Like you know, like since I got my Scooby-Doo set, like Mansion, which is the biggest set out of the 5 Scooby-Doo sets. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Talking about the mansion, I think you were thinking about.
I'm sorry. I totally went blank.
It's okay.
That. Wow.
I think you were gonna say about how, you know, since you got your haunted,
you know, as long as you keep the box stuff too, like there's open with box and instructions, sealed in good condition. You know, I'm one that I will open. I'm an opener. I am called an opener. I am not.
Oh yeah,
I am not a box collector. My Scooby-Doo Mansion box got accidentally destroyed, so it went in the garbage just recently. It was like, I can't. No, it's destroyed. It's not worth anything. Get it out. I don't care. I have the
people,
and I have the
people cringe at what I do to my boxes. So
burn them in a fire pit.
So some of them end up some of them end up in the fire pit, like most of the city ones. Whatever. The ones that I keep, the plan is to actually cut the fronts out of all of them.
Right, I remember this.
And then frame them. When I have the room someday, and have it all framed and done that way, because I don't care. I'm like,
it's boxes.
I'm like, I just want the front.
Here's an
I'm gonna just cut it out and frame you.
Of an example of me opening it. I one time in my early toy collecting history, I bought a die-cast monkey mobile. The monkeys group from the 60s, if you remember the TV show. And they had a car.
The monkeys.
Yes, Corgi, a UK company, came out with a medium-size scale, 1/24 scale monkey mobile.
That's so cool.
I had an opportunity to get one. It was about $300 at the time. It was on, I think, it wasn't Facebook Marketplace, but it was on
a marketplace.
The marketplaces. And so I emailed the guy, said, I'm interested. Can we meet up? Blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah, sure. So I purchased it. And it was sealed in box. Still a good cellophane, whatever. And it's like, no. So I took a knife and just went, slit to the piece of tape, because that's all it was back then, was just 2 pieces of tape at either end. Slit the tape, opened it up, put the car in, put it in, and when I decided to sell it 2 or 3 years later, dusted it off, put it back in the box, closed it. Now, most people you could put a piece of tape. Now, the tape won't match, but you could put a piece of tape, and I didn't, because I wanted to make sure I wouldn't forget to tell the person, hey, this has been opened. Perfect condition, but open. But I'm an opener. I'll open, like, the only reason, like, when I collected Star Wars Black Series figures that I didn't have them out on display was, one, didn't have the space, and 2, they looked at the time on my far wall here. It papered my wall with packaged Black Series figures. It just looked cool. And so that's why they stayed in the box. But I didn't care. If the box is damaged and I could get $10 off, I'll take the damaged box. You know.
and sometimes you can, if you can see what's in the box and you really don't need to open it, and it looks cool, then it's like for example, Funko Pops. My neighbor, she is a Funko Pop collector. She has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things, and it lines up an entire wall of her house. But they look cool in the box. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because they look cool. I was lucky I didn't hop on that train. I only have a couple Funko Pops myself because they're ones
I have 6.
they're ones that I really really wanted.
Yep.
And were close to my heart, like the Star Wars,
gifts.
not Star Wars,
Yeah.
the Star Trek ones.
Yeah. Mine is because you can't get the character any other way. Like, do you remember the TV show Fraggle Rock?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
It was the Jim Henson show, and there was a dog on it. I collect sci-fi horror dogs and fantasy dogs.
I love it.
I have never had a Sprocket, and Funko Pop came up with a Sprocket, which was the sheepdog, the big human sheepdog.
Yeah.
And that's one of the Funkos I have because it was just not available any other way. And I bought
nice.
I bought one of the Boober because one, his black eyes were covered, and 2, it came with a doozer because I wanted a doozer. And for
very
lined
nice
up doozer, they're like 50, 60, 70 bucks now. And I'm going, I'll just take a $20 Funko, and there's my doozer.
I mean, a lot of my boxes are not sealed because I buy secondhand. I buy secondhand off. You know, I have done in the past off eBay and places like that. Now, because I know a lot of people in the community, I tend to buy off people that I know and trust. You know, but I have absolutely no qualms in buying Lego secondhand as long as it's, you know, in a good condition you know.
So I found with that I definitely trust buying from people that I know easier than, let's say, even Bricklink sometimes. Because I've had some experiences on Bricklink where I was like, okay, wait a second, you want to charge this for this. So when I bought what was it? It was a Parisian restaurant. It was crazy. I paid the value of it being retired and in good condition and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, the person that sent it to me threw it all in a gallon bag. Just all the pieces in a gallon bag.
I remember that when you were building it.
I was going to say, I remember.
Stuck it in the box and said, hey, this is in good condition and the box is good. And I was like, well, yeah, the box is good, but I just paid $400 for this and you couldn't have had the pieces sorted or anything. You just threw it all in a gallon bag. And then I had to replace a whole bunch of pieces.
Yeah.
Like there was a ton of them. And then there were pieces that were missing. And I had told my boss, I was like, hey, I need these pieces if you have them by any chance, because the set that I just bought is missing like 40 or 50 pieces.
Oh, wow.
And some of them aren't colors that you can get super easily all the time.
Yeah.
Mainly the olive green, I think it was the 1x8 in olive green. And granted, you can use 1x4s, but then it throws off your value.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, well, I have to find these pieces, and luckily they had those pieces. And I was just like, oh, this is just crazy. So now I'm very diligent when I buy off Bricklink. I message the sellers usually, and I'm like, hey, is this sorted? Is this just kind of come to me in a big gallon bag?
Yeah.
What am I paying for?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I remember because you and I got into not a heated debate, but a debate. Like when I ship a set, I'll color sort. That's as far as you get because you were talking about sorting back into the numbered bags. We were just discussing it, but it was I go as far as color sorting because it's when I work with Bricklink, when I do the inventory with Link, they do it by color, so it's so much easier. Just start from the top, scroll down, do like 5, they go in the bag, then next color, you know, and that's why I only color sort.
And after I learned the color sorting way at work, I was totally fine with just colors.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. But a lot of people don't even go that far, and you look at it And I'm like, no, you could have at least put it all in color.
Yep.
So that when I go through the instructions, I can just go to the color and grab.
Exactly. Well, how I usually do it is printed stickers in one bag.
Yep.
Because usually it's not too many.
Yeah.
And then color sort, box, instructions, and then usually I try to put the instructions in a comic bag and board if it was
That's a smart idea.
a magazine. Yeah. It's a little bit more weight for the shipping, but it keeps it flat. If there's sticker sheets, I will try to, or cloaks, I will put them if I, have an extra one of these, or
the extra boxes,
or I will take an old piece of bristle board, boom, flat. Because I hate it when I get something damaged or whatever, or missing pieces. Like I would have been fuming and said, I want that many pieces. That's fuming. I would be leaving a bad review, especially for that money. Now, if it's a $40-$50 set and it's missing a few pieces,
you're like, okay, it's fine.
I can dig them up. Like I'm building for Test and Time on Twitch, building a set. One set was missing 3 pieces, 2 black spears and a little cone, 1 by 1 cone.
Yeah.
Come up, boom, boom, boom. Take it away.
Off it goes.
And I don't mind doing that. Or if a set comes to me, it's like, okay, you miscounted. Oh, you got 7. You need 8. I can handle that, but 40-50 pieces out of that. Wow. You are a nicer person than I would be.
well, see, so, and then sometimes you run into, okay, so I'm missing 50 pieces. Great. I have to replace them. And then you look at, oh, well, if I end up shipping it back, it's going to cost me more to ship it back, go buy another one. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just replace the pieces, but it's still inconvenient.
Yeah, okay, I see your point. That's a good point. Yeah.
But definitely things that I look at for like minifigs is, if you sell a minifig that comes with the cape, for example, and you say new, I expect either in a box, the cape in a box, or the cape to be pristine and it's minty fresh kind of deal.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
I don't want something. So I've had capes come in where I buy a fig and they're like, oh, well, this is brand new. And I get it and I'm like, okay, well, there's fraying all around here. It's terrible. This isn't new. Now, some figures, granted, there are some figures that the capes were terribly made, and every single one that you find has fraying on the capes.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it because the material is just terrible. Yeah. So a good example of that is the CMF Wizard with the star cape.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Almost every single one, and I own a couple, almost every single one that you get, doesn't matter, out of the bag, new, or used, they're almost all frayed and you have to trim up the fraying, and it's a terrible cape. The figure itself is gorgeous. Like it's a great figure.
Yeah.
But the cape, I have yet to see one that hasn't frayed, and I even did a test. So I have one currently in my display case that I'm looking at on my other wall. And that one is, when I put it in that case, had no fraying on it. Like no fraying, and I stuck it up there. The one I took out of the case had been sitting up there for 4 years, and fraying happened even with it just sitting up on the display case, like without me touching it.
Yeah.
So I'm testing, and I'll report back to people once I have it sitting up there for a while to see if they all end up fraying.
But it also could be the climate in your house, as in humidity.
So my house is humidity controlled.
Okay.
So my HVAC unit has a dehumidifier on it. We made sure of that when we purchased the unit. So my house sits at that wonderful, no higher than 45-50% humidity level. That is that's a good level.
Yeah.
And then the temperature fluctuation is no more than 10-degree fluctuations.
Okay, so nothing major. Okay,
nothing
like
major.
Our winters where it can go really, minus 40.
No. So
yeah.
So my house, and even in the winter when it gets colder here in South Texas, my heater is the same. It keeps it in that 10 degree zone. And I've just found, because I have other figures up there that have capes on that. I've got Zurg up there. I've got the CMF Alien Queen.
Oh, nice.
I've got the Aztec character from the Adventures theme. He's got a cape, and he's been up there now 6 years, and no, there's no fraying.
Yeah.
Maleficent, the Queen, the Red Queen from the CMF.
Oh, yeah.
Darth Maul. Who else is up there that has capes? Galadriel. And I've just found that it's in particular, it's just this one cape that just, I don't know. I think Lego dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Now,
everyone
on that subject, Hagar. Oh, and sorry, Becca.
No, I was just going to tell everyone to tune back in 4 years' time and see if the same thing happens.
So
let
Lego,
me put that on my phone. There we go.
so Lego did do something cool, and I want to know Hagar's take on it. They came out with that new cape, the new style.
The molded?
No, well, there's the molded one. But the new one they used for the Basil, the Batlord, in the recent last CMF series, it's a cloth papery texture, so it is cloth, but it's a little stiffer.
I haven't really noticed. I haven't had sorry about my camera shake. I apologize.
It's okay.
I haven't really noticed, to be honest with you.
Do you have them?
No, I don't have him.
I don't think I have one.
I'm not a big CMF
available.
I'm not. I'm a big minifigure collector, but I'm more themed set minifigure collector.
So his cape is a little bit more. I have one somewhere in my bin behind me.
Yeah.
He's got a firmer. It's a firmer cape. So when you flick it, kind of deal, to do the test, it's not the spongy.
Okay. I know what you're saying.
It's not the clothy.
I think some of the D&D sets like that.
Yeah, the D&D sets used it. Yeah.
I don't mind those, because I am one. For example, I love molded stuff. Example being, I will take a molded Fluffy from the old Harry Potter set over the brick built.
Absolutely.
Cloaks, I like the stiffer cloaks of the older cloaks and the newer cloaks. The sponge cloaks, one, they're hard to tell sometimes, and they're just a pain to deal with. And having a minifig exactly the same, but just a different cloak being a different item number.
Yeah.
I hate it. Just go back to normal, or go to the harder ones. I just prefer those, and I like some of the new molded capes. I think there's a couple of new sets that have molded cloaks.
That
like
Doctor
the one
Strange, that Doctor Strange cape is brilliant.
A good one is the cape from the Nightmare King from Dreams. He's got that really cool ghosty cape.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. I actually, I don't mind the spongy ones, because they don't fray. That's one nice thing about them.
True enough. Yeah, I can agree with you there.
But I do agree on the oh, well, we're gonna use multiple different materials for different minifigs. I'm like, wait a second. There are like 10 different varieties of Darth Vaders with 10 different capes, and that makes a difference for which character it is,
And what set
they're
it
all
goes with it.
black. They're all black capes.
It's exclusive because it's got the sponge cape, and it's the exact same minifig.
Right.
I could take that older minifig, slap on a sponge coat, and put it in a new set. It's like hair molds. Like, here's an example. I had a white Princess Leia, white costume Princess Leia, but one. Or no, the ponytail. And
the ponytail, okay.
It's the exact same one as the Cloud City Princess Leia. I had a Cloud City Princess Leia missing the hair. I went, yoink, yoink, there's a $300 minifig. And the hair came from the white one, but it's the same color, same mold.
It's crazy how they determine that. And I think talking on that subject of molding, I love the fact that for years they told us, oh well, we can't make a new goat. It makes me giggle so hard.
I know.
I look at it and I'm like, okay, Lego, let me explain something to you.
Here we go, guys.
When I go to the dentist, my dentist has a device that can 3D scan my teeth and print out an identical copy of my tooth using the 3D scanner device.
Yep.
And I actually told this on a stream once where I was like, Lego, if you're listening, grab yourself one of these $200 pens, and it comes with the software, so don't worry, the software's included, and scan you that Lego, that goat mold, and print you a new mold. But it's super easy.
The problem is they had nothing, in my opinion. The big thing was, and yes, I've heard problems with the molds and problems with this and problems with that. But the big thing I think was the problem was they had nothing that goats could go with or they'd want to put goats with. So to invest the money, molding is not cheap. Getting those metal molds.
Right, of course.
You know, I've worked in a plastic molding factory and I've seen some numbers. It's like, now Lego's a big company and probably have manufactured, but still, they would need to. And now with the CMF, with the Bard or whatever the figure, it needed to go. Now, I wish.
The goat herder guy.
Yeah, the goat herder. Thank you. I wish it had the spots like the original, because the original had.
I mean,
come down.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But they did give us a gray one too.
Did they? Okay, didn't know that. Okay.
In the updated medieval square set, they gave us the gray one.
That's cool. And I did not know that.
But talking about them not having sets that they could put it in, I could think of 6 sets that they could have thrown goats in. They had a couple farm sets. There were a bunch of medieval sets that they could have stuck them in.
Okay.
There had been plenty of options out there. I think they like you said, they were waiting for that perfect moment.
Yeah.
But to say publicly that they couldn't make a new mold.
Oh no, they could have.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
In a second, because
I don't think anyone does.
Because here comes the goat.
Yeah, they got the goat herder, and you said the gray one. It was like, yeah, no, that's why I have gone the way of the broken mold conspiracy or theory or whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous. They've probably had it sitting there, and they have to look at the dollar and cents. Is with the way I look.
Yeah,
for a company as big as Lego, that 2 cents a figure could mean make it or break it. So,
but then the craziness about that is, if it had really been the money incentive.
Shit, I am so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. If it had been a money incentive, the goat herder CMF is a $5-6 figure, right? And sure, lots of people are going to go out and buy it, but in the long run, it's kind of pennies compared to, oh well, we're going to put the gray goat in a $300 set and make a ton of money from it.
The only reason I looked at that CMF set myself personally was because it had the goat. Now I still haven't got a goat herder yet, just to have one, but I was looking. That's the only thing that drew me to the set, and I think why they put it in the set was to draw in. Maybe they saw some low numbers in the CMF sets. It could be, and we're not Lego,
and get people to buy tons of goats because that's what they did.
Army building and hunting for it because it was, because now that was back in the day when they had bags, so bag feelers and stuff, and but whatever, it still was. They probably saw an increase in sales because that goat was in that CMF.
And let's face it, Lego are very clever. They're not silly. They know what they're doing. And of course, we all, a lot of people did go and buy a lot of goats. So well done, Lego. It worked.
Look at the set before that, I think, with the falconer and the orc. People, it really, people are.
I want a ton of falcons. I want a ton of orcs.
And some people had 80 to 100, 150 falconers, and I'm going, I just want one. So finally, I got one last year. Who was it? EO Dog from Twitch had an extra one, and we worked at it.
That's awesome.
It came to me after Scotty brought it back for me, or Scotty or Tess brought it back to me from Brick World Chicago last year, and I was so happy. I have a falconer.
And a lot of them, so like the Marvel set where we had the Falcon, and Hawkeye, not Falcon, Hawkeye, and they give you the little hawk. And one of the things I was saying is, one of the things about the minifigures that I love is I'm like, oh well, they give us really cool animals sometimes.
Yep.
And then I just want to buy a whole bunch of them to get a whole bunch of the animals, because that's what I really want.
Yeah, no, I've done that too. Not with minifigs, but with other toys. I'll just buy them for the accessories. It's like, $20,
so like
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 for the figure. Cool, I can sell the figure, make half my money back.
Right. The little set with the otters in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Had to be done.
Or the red panda. Or the seals. I think I bought 10 of the little seal boxes, just for the seals.
Yeah.
It was the Birdwatcher CMF that came with the toucan.
Yes.
That's a lovely one.
I think I bought 20 of her just to have lots of toucans.
I think that was the last one that I needed to get for that CMF set, and I think the lovely Macca helped me out with that one.
We love Macca Builds. Yeah. Big shout out
to Macca Builds. Absolutely great streamer when he gets to it, and also has his own Brick Link store. So
that's right.
Check him out. Up and running, and it's doing really well. And so,
cool.
Shout out to our
very
good friend Macca, who was on this podcast with Echo Bricks, talking about Technic way back when, which was an absolutely great. I loved that podcast. Found out so much.
Those two are the Technic gods. I don't.
Anyone
knows Technic better than him and Echo, and totally agree.
So Hagar.
Can I ask one favor? Can we backtrack just 2 seconds? So I collected minifigs, and then about 3, when I started on Twitch is when I started buying sets. This is just my history. And one of the reasons, Local was another one. He started Twitch streaming, and I loved it. And I had been watching a lady on Twitch that did true crime stories, and we debated true crime stories.
Oh, that's fun.
That got me hooked into watching Twitch. So I was going to do, because Local was doing Lego, I was going to do Creo, which was a Hasbro brick building system at the time. They did reboot Star Trek Battleship D&D, or no, not D&D, Battleship Creo, or Battleship Star Trek Transformers. That was it.
Transformers. Okay.
Yeah, and I had 2 of these filled with Transformer Creos.
That's awesome.
Because they did set Creos and then followed the way the Lego, and we had a very successful blind bag. I think they had like 7 or 8, maybe 10 series of Transformer blind bags.
That is really cool. Okay.
So I was going to do that, but then I jumped because of content, and they stopped making Creo. I jumped into Legos, and that's when I started getting into Lego sets. And I
gotcha.
enjoyed the Lego sets. Even if I didn't do them on stream, I probably still would have gotten into it. Above me here.
You can tilt your camera up and show people.
I'm going to excuse the mess of the room, but I have Lego.
A whole fleet.
Yeah, I have about 12 or 15, and then I have the Spider, the Star Wars Spider, the Phantom One.
That's awesome.
A Ninjago, which was one of my early sets. Scooby-Doo biplane, Grievous' ship. So yeah, sorry for the shake here, guys. I'm trying Snowspeeder, small Batwing that came with the Riddler's helicopter. So yeah.
So for anyone listening, all these sets that Hagar is reading out are suspended from the ceiling.
Oh yeah, that's above my head. If one were to fall,
they're literally
it would either fall in front of me, fall behind me, or no, I don't have any that would actually hit me in the head. I had one, and I kept getting screaming, hitting my head. So I learned the hard way on that one. Yeah, these ones that you saw are hanging, but that's my history of Lego. I've been a toy collector since early 2000s. No, actually 1999, my first set, horror set from Clive Barker's Tortured Souls was my first set of toys that I actually collected. So
that's really cool.
I've been a toy collector, Lego collector since 2000. So
what so if you had to think about Lego sets, what would be a white whale for you?
Oh, my holy grail / white whale is the.
Oh yeah.
I have. My list has grown recently.
You can have more than one.
Oh, I know. My top number 1, which I'm to get my finances figured out, I may get soon. It's the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Oh,
I knew you were going to say that.
I knew you were going to say that.
I have the small Ecto 1, not built because I had an accident.
The one that can fit inside it,
yes,
right? Yeah.
So I want to get that, and what was the next? Oh, Voltron, and then figure out a way to get custom minifigs made for it, because that was the only drawback on that set is they didn't do minifigs. Even if they did,
yeah, I can't believe they didn't
on the display and not fit in. I wouldn't have cared. At least you would have the pilots.
Yeah,
like they did it. They did it like for one of the Marvel Halo characters. They did it.
Yeah.
And you can put the figures in front of it. Nice. You can have your helicarrier on your display and the figures there. But they didn't. They dropped the ball on that one, in my opinion. But Voltron is cool. Voltron, Yellow Submarine, and
that's on my list too.
The 2.
I have that one.
I know you do.
Very jealous.
The 2 mansions are the Vampire Castle and the Haunted Mansions from the Monster Fighters series.
Yeah, those are good choices.
Nice.
Those are my holy grails. But the number 1, which I will get one day, is the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Because for many reasons. 1, I'm a Ghostbusters fan. 2, I have
Ghostbusters.
I have the small Ecto 1, which can go in it. Then, what was the other reason? For content for my stream, because no one has built it that I've seen. And it would just be cool. Build one of my grails, build it, have fun with it, do a Ghostbusters theme week or whatever. But
that would be so much fun.
Yeah, but the problem is spending what it costs now, because the set is about in Canada.
Oh yeah.
To get a good one, sealed in box, $1,000 to $1,200 plus taxes, plus shipping, plus whatever else. If they're in a province, if they're a business like a brick and mortar business that has to charge sales tax, so it's going to be pricey. I've looked at used, but I'm scared to buy used.
Because then you have to replace a lot of the color, right?
What do you mean replace a lot of the color?
So there's colors in the sets that may be brittle or
no. Well, okay, they've got the red. They've got the red.
Yeah, that dark red. Yeah.
Wasn't that after they sorted the red, the brittle red?
I don't know.
Wasn't that released after they sorted the brittle?
It might have. You're right. It might have been. I don't know.
Give me 2 seconds. We'll find out. But those are my holy grails.
And I knew that's the one that I was going to say. Yeah. I knew that was the one, because we've had many discussions about that set. Such a great set.
Yeah.
Iconic, and something, Ghostbusters, I can remember I was desperate to watch it when I was young, and I really wanted to. I know it to give you nightmares, and I said no, it won't. And then I watched it with her, and then it did, and I was in trouble because,
So luckily, the Ghostbusters house came out in 2016, so it was after the brittle.
It was after the debacle.
I think the brick was mid 2000s with the food bar, but every toy
should
back
be safe.
in the toy industry. They have there's a part in their history where they had toys that would be hit with what they call with GPS, gold plastic syndrome. The primary color was gold at the time that got hit, but other colors got hit with it. Like during the early to mid 90s, there was a toy Beast Wars, Transformer Beast Wars line. A lot of their smaller Transformers came spring loaded. You lock it in, to go and it transformed. People were pulling out of the box and go, poof, instantly spring apart. Yeah. So Lego had their problem with plastic.
Yeah.
And
everybody else did too.
There's other toy industries. Transformers was just the easiest one to remember. But in the 90s, Beast Wars, late 90s to early 2000s, they had problems with GPS, gold plastic syndrome. And it's like, everyone
it happens.
You try something different.
Yeah.
You never know. There's only so much testing you can do. So that's my history in toys and Lego. I had been working at a used toy store, and had fun and learning a lot about used toys.
I bet you learned a lot.
Yeah, and I do watch a lot of, I hate to say a lot of YouTube, but watch toy flippers, toy stores. A lot of
hey, it's okay. I watch a lot of YouTube too. A lot of camera stuff on YouTube.
I used to watch a lot of YouTube before I found Twitch.
Yeah.
and then Twitch takes up, I would say Twitch takes up a lot of my time, but it used to before somebody else came along, and now he takes up all my time. But other than that, watching wise, I don't really watch anything. TV and movies have kind of like dipped because I'm just if I have time,
you're busy.
I kind of jump around.
And I'm a busy person.
If I'm not in the mood to watch Twitch, I'll watch a YouTube video or a movie or something. Just
I'll even multitask. I'll have TV on and Twitch or YouTube, and I'll sit there and I'll be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do a rot today.
Yeah.
I absolutely get that. If I'm already feeling overwhelmed, sometimes the interaction that Twitch brings is just too much for me to face, and that's when I know that I just need some downtime. When I take the time to either spend time with someone special, or just to just on a one-on-one basis, or or I'll just veg in front of the television and just chill, or go to sleep, which I can do now. And but it's funny because there's sort of, for me, with just how I feel, sometimes going on to Twitch at a certain point will pull me out of feeling like that, you know. But then there's just other times that I just can't face it, and that's just big. And you know, I just, you know, I sort of, I used, when I very first started, you know, Twitch, and I was an insomniac, and I was on there all the time, and
those
you know,
late
all
night
day
days.
and all night, you know, and then I felt bad that I wasn't supporting them. If I felt like I wasn't supporting my friends, but I've since, like, you know, obviously just come to know that my friends don't want me to be there if I'm just there feeling bad, and they'd rather I took a step back and rested and looked after myself and put my well-being first. So, you know, I do that now. So you know, it's I think it's just nice to have it there. It's always there when you need it. And I actually miss
100%, yeah.
I miss it. I miss it because I'm now so busy that I don't get as much time on there as I want to. But when I do get to go on there, it is just such a great community.
Yeah.
And we've said time and time again.
Here's an example.
And I love
here's a quick example. Today I was kind of down, just stressed about stuff, and I jumped on Millennium's stream today, and so I was just had it on in the background while I was trying to help clear my head. Someone made
clear your head. Yeah.
Someone made an age joke, so it's like I piped up. I came out of lurk. I said, "Hi everyone, I'm ancient. You can't have me beat an age." Not knowing some of the people there, how old they were. But
of course,
what was it? What did I say? Oh yeah, I said, you know, I've had conversations with King Tut. Can you say the same? And who was it? Bricks Together came back and said, you know, the Big Bang Theory was when Hagar stubbed his toe on the banister, and it's like that. Like I was like bent over laughing at that one, because that one was like
that's great.
But I'm just saying, sometimes it's needed. Then there's sometimes where, like, stream one time when I took my first break, I was coming home after work going, WTF, I don't want to work. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. But then I felt worried. It's like I stopped recently just after a subathon, and it was like I felt like I said to people, I'm sorry, I beg your subs, I apologize, but real life is kicking me in the ass, you know, and because people were
and people don't realize it is work.
Yeah, streaming is work.
Streaming is work.
Yeah,
it is a job.
Yeah.
Do we enjoy the job? Sure, but it still is. It still is work, and us streamers, we get tired.
Yeah,
like the burnout is real.
No one made a complaint. They said, you know what? No.
Oh yeah.
You step back, do your thing, look after your thing. You know.
Like I said, that is generally, you know, we're lucky to have the community that we have, but generally, you know, that's what I would want for my friends, and that's what I would tell you. You know, I've said to many people, if you need to take a break, you take a break, and we'll be there when you come back.
Yeah.
When you're ready. That's more important to me. I don't care about my sub. Not that I have many, if any, subs. But you know,
but
yeah,
and
no, it makes sense.
But everyone was
understandable.
Everyone's understanding. Like
yeah.
That's great community. You know what I find that's been more stress relieving? Just chatting on Discord. Some people have opened up their Discord.
Yeah.
If you see me in there, come in. Like, they've opened it up to the communities, and
it's pretty cool when they do that.
Yeah, and I find that de-stressing, just talking, and sometimes even to have an ear rant. Like I said, guys, I got a rant. Do you mind?
Yeah.
Most of them will say, go right ahead.
Go for it. Yeah.
You know, I said, I don't even care if you take your headphones off and come back. I need to rant. And Mike,
we all need an ear sometimes.
Has now come to, you know, that was the end of your regular scheduled Hagar's rant. Till next time, we'll see you later.
And you know what that is? That just proves to you, doesn't it? When it sometimes feels like a little bit cliche when you hear, oh, it's good to talk, and you know, you need to talk to someone, you know, but actually, even if we feel like it's the last thing in the world we want to do, eventually we you know, hopefully we do get the chance to do that, and it does make you feel better. And then you're kind of annoyed it's that
everything's doing this, weighting you down, and then it's like blah, and it's like move forward. I find, and then you get different perspectives too. It's like you're trying to solve a problem, or you rant about a problem, and someone could go, "Hey, Hagar, did you try this?" Or what about thinking like this way, Hagar? Or you get different perspectives on thinking too. Yeah, I'm in my 50s, but I'm not the perfect person or whatever. But they go, what about this? And that helps too. It's like,
yeah,
didn't think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll come at it that way, or come at it, a different way, and go, and then
that's the good thing about this community as well, is it brings people from all walks of life together and all different ages and perspectives.
100%.
And I have in my, I say in my real life, I don't not consider this real life, but in my life I have always had friends that are all different ages, but quite often older than me. And because I've always resonated more with people, older age people, because I guess I'm just a bit of an old lady really inside.
I'm the reverse. All my friends are younger. I'm the reverse. Like they're in their 30s and 40s, where I'm in my 50s. So
age is just a number.
True enough. True.
I mean, I've always said that, and I've always believed it. And no more than right now in my life is that the case. But I think that what is great about this place is that age is it really doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter here. Lots of things. Everyone is welcome, and I really genuinely value people's opinions from all different ages, because you do get different perspectives on it. And
absolutely.
what I get, from people that are older than me, generally. I get overwhelmed and I freak out and I start, spiraling, and I'm overthinking, and my older friends tend to be like, whoa, come on, and they'll literally tell me like, it's really not that big a deal. Look at it this way, just not that I'm not valid, but they'll tell me to. Whereas younger people might be like, oh, I totally get that, but they'll be more like, but what does it matter? Does it even matter though?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no, you've got a point,
Yeah.
So it's a similar perspective, but from different perspectives. Because I think as you get older, things matter less in a different way.
Yes.
Yes. It's so true.
I've had people
the younger
come
generation are more like,
I've had people come up to me
about that. Like,
why are you stressing over this? You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Sort of. If I had no control
interesting.
over it, and it's like, oh no, it's that's the one thing I like about online community. It's just a different, different perspective. Yeah, different perspective and different, perspective outlook, and it's different from platform to platform. I've noticed. I follow a lot of Pokemon YouTubers, and
I love
some of them.
I love me some Pokemon.
I just watch it just because the energy. Sometimes I need it, and the guys that I watch are great. But some of the questions that get asked in their live chat and the speed of their live chat is just wow. And I wouldn't be able to handle that on Twitch. Just the maturity level and whatever. So but so I am glad I got involved with the Twitch community. Even
we're glad too. We're so glad that you decided to come on here with us.
Yeah,
and we've been talking about having you on for a long time.
We have.
You genuinely are. Right from the start, you have been one of my favorite people in this community. So take your breaks. You need them. But I know you're going to be back. Because
I was planning. I had everything set up last night until I got whacked again. It was like, okay, I got a chance to breathe. I've de-stressed. Let's go on stream, and it's like 10:30.
The universe likes
it just wasn't. It just wasn't going to click. So I have one final question for you.
Go ahead.
I know what that question is.
I don't.
Your favorite brick element of today.
Oh wow!
So like a Lego element. every guest we have on that we don't forget, we try and ask them this question before we go. What's your favorite Lego element? And we try and choose different pieces every time.
Okay. Currently, right now, because I am doing my mocks of my spooky town, it's printed wood pieces.
Nice.
That's a good one.
1x4s, the 1x4 tile printed.
I love that.
Because you can use them, like on the mansion, they use them as window boardings.
It's a fantastic piece.
I have maybe 8 to 10, maybe 12, because I got 3 of the Halloween tea packs. I wish I had more. I haven't looked into buying more, but there's some sets that I want to do. Like I took
and they come in different colors now too.
That I didn't know. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, there's a lighter brown and a darker brown.
I like the normal dark, like the original that I know of, that came in the VIP packs. I'll have to look into that. Thank you. I didn't know that, but
you're welcome.
But I had the Harry Potter carriage, the ones that came with the creatures that you can only see if you've seen Death.
The Threstles.
Oh, yeah.
So I've mocked it or modified it into a coffin carriage and put an arg on it with the top hat and the whip and whatever.
Very nice.
So I did the coffin, which is just a pine box. The best way to simulate that is with those wood pieces.
Right, of course.
The mansion had them because you can put them over the window, like diagonally with jumper tiles.
Yeah.
Put them across the windows to help them make it look boarded up and dilapidated and whatever. But yeah, the wood pieces right now, because of this theme, the mocking I'm doing, I think will be my favorite until I'm done. 1x2s, and I think you can get 1x3s. Don't think you can get any bigger than 1x4s though,
I don't think so. I think the only ones that are bigger are sticker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it with the Halloween pack, the VIP Halloween pack when I first got one? I cracked it open and saw what I could make out of just the VIP pack. Just challenge myself. It's like, let's see what we can build. Built a little wagon with the wood. Built a
That's cute.
I have the post. I think it's on my Instagram. So yeah.
Such good pieces in those VIP packs.
Yeah.
I hope they bring those back.
What was
I hope so.
There's one in Europe. Before they start coming out here in the US and Canada. There is a winter one that only came out in Europe, and it was like I put the word out but couldn't get one. But spring, summer, and Halloween, I still have like half a box full of spring and summer. Like I use them as
very nice
giveaways sometimes, So yeah, the like you get a bike in one. I think the summer one. And,
the bikes, were really nice.
And the white picket fence. It's only a 1x4, but it's still cool. Flowers.
Yeah, they are good pieces.
What was the Halloween one? Halloween
pumpkin, spider web,
wood wheels,
things like that.
Wheels.
Some skulls.
Yeah. Oh, they came with skeletons, like 2 or 3 skeletons.
Yeah, and the pirate pack, had that too.
One I had, right? Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted the pirate pack so bad.
We'll figure something out.
Cool.
Once I get back on my feet.
Anyway,
I think I may have one.
I'm trying to think. I mean, the classic ghost piece.
The glow.
Is that technically a piece? Can I have that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we just passed the Halloween.
You're talking about the one that goes over the torso and the legs, right? And some are not glow in the dark, and some are glow in the dark.
Yeah, some are glow in the dark, and those are very cool.
I have one of each, actually.
I'm gonna go for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for that.
I would say for me, since we're with that Halloween theme, the jack-o'-lantern piece that can go on the minifig that has the face.
The Horseman had it in the biplane set.
I really like that piece.
Yeah, that one's cool.
That would be for me.
He was a headless horseman.
Yeah.
He was headless.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on today with us and having a chat.
Yes, thank you again for having me.
It was fantastic.
Can you
can't believe the
tell
time flew by.
I know it does. It actually is.
Yeah.
Always when you're having fun, that's the thing.
Every time.
Can you tell everybody where we can find you?
Twitch, Hagar the Great 70, all one word. Same for Instagram, and I'm on Instagram and Instagram Threads, and I'm looking into which I haven't initiated yet, but I think it's called Blue Skies. It's the Twitter replacement.
Ooh, what is that?
It's a Twitter
okay,
replacement.
interesting.
I have to look into it. I just found out about it today. I've heard some people mention it on
Very
Twitch,
nice.
but I think it's the Twitter X replacement. So yeah,
gotcha.
so
Hagar the Great 70 on all those platforms.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
When I sign up for Blue Skies, I'm looking into it, investigating it, seeing how it goes. But Instagram and Twitch are my two main platforms right
Lovely.
now that I am at.
That's
Fantastic.
great.
So, but like I said, thank you guys, and
Thank you.
So,
and we'll catch
we'll catch you all later.
Bye everyone.
We'll catch you soon.
Bye bye.